Diggity Dungeon Disaster DJ. I'm here not only to thank you guys for coming back to the next episode and apologize for the last episode. Unfortunately, due to weather or bad downloads, bad internet, or just bad luck, the last episode was rendered pretty much unusable. I tried for weeks to try to render, re-download, and change whatever issues was with the audio, but there were some weird parts where at points we all sounded like really, really bulky Goliaths and then really, really tiny gnomes. And that went on for hours, and it just was not salvageable. So instead, I'm going to go ahead and give you a recap and shoot you right into the next episode. The last episode that we ended up losing was the group kind of coming together after their disaster with the assassin. The town had experienced an explosion. Unfortunately, those continued. There were about 2 more explosions before the group decided that they needed to refocus their attention on, instead of capturing this assassin, but instead trying to recoup from the damage that he had done. And during that time, we found that there were almost hundreds of dead from this person, this assassin. Nobody was happy about it. But unfortunately, it was more important to help the people in need versus go after a person who could only cause more devastation. After which, the party kind of recouped at their area, their little hut, and they came up with a plan of what to do next. The idea was to hit the open water. Staying in town would only make people of this city or village more of a target. So, after the repairs of their boat, they headed off. On the water, Caustic ended up getting scolded, as some would say, for heading off without the rest of the party. An action that the party seems to repeat multiple times on multiple occasions. After a bit of a discussion, the party doubled down, spent a decent night, and played some cards with an animated deck that was seemingly found upon the party. From there is where we will recap with Caustic one last time and continue our game where we left off.
Last session started off basically finishing recovering soot from the building, and then kind of digging up any of the victims that remained. During that time, a second explosion went on at another building that the assassin had shot from. So we went there, started trying to look for survivors, which there were none. Then a third explosion happened. And I think we were just like, we can only do so much. Finn went to check on Anastasia, and we basically immediately, once we saw she was okay, left in case the assassin saw us. Then we got on a ship, our ship as soon as possible, and took off. Soot got scolded, and then Soot stopped being Soot, for lack of better terms, kind of became a different person and swore a new vow, and swapped classes, and then, God. Then, Castor and Finn found a magic deck of cards, which has a dealer with like a interdimensional anti-pool of things previously lost to its bets. Games were won, games were lost, and that was basically where we ended our session, with Caustic and Zare on deck, and the rest of the group resting?
So, hi everybody, I'm Corey. I'm here with the podcast, -1 today. We have somebody out currently due to an illness. Chris, hope you feel better. Let's go ahead and do introductions. Let's start with Dust.
Hello, I'm Dust. I will be playing Finn, the bard who likes to gamble with a lot of dangerous items.
Rodeo.
Hi, I'm Maxwell at Rodeo, and I play Castor, the grave cleric who likes to gamble with his friend Finn.
Alex.
Hi, I'm Alex, and I'm playing Callisto, your tiefling druid who is very confused about the concept of gambling in general.
And lastly, our HD player with a new upgrade to internet, Jace.
Hi, I'm Jace. Probably going to be cursed to have my internet drop out, but I will be playing Caustic, the human keeper of memories.
All right. So we've had a bit of our backgrounds kind of fully gone over. We go ahead and set the down below kind of feeling for the ship. Some a little bit of creaking. We've got the hammocks kind of swaying back and forth. You can hear the water outside. Maybe some lapping. Maybe a bit of the fabric kind of falling back and forth. But I'll let you guys take it from here, because I'd say we're going to wake up early next morning. Rainstorm's kind of going to be over, and I mean there might be like a trickle. Like it's not heavy, but there's still some rain. You know, things are wet up on top deck.
Well, Caustic had basically spent the evening out on deck, just kind of enjoying the air. So when it's time to, like, once the sun starts to rise, and that I assume that the group will start waking up, I'll head into the kitchen and start trying to make everyone some tea so that they can have something to wake up to.
Read the goddamn map. Caustic.
There you go.
A map says Castor's Kitchen, Caustic. How dare you?
You got that carved into the, like, up top, like, Castor's Kitchen. All others keep
Are
out.
they both spelled with a C? The Castor's Kitchen with a C?
Yeah.
Here's the real question.
It
Has
said,
anyone other than Martha cooked?
yes, Castor has, and it turned out really good. I cooked us potato and meat, and then just potato soup when we were diving for the ship. Here's the thing. It says keep out Zereth, Finn, and Soot. But Soot looks at it and goes, that's not me. Or Caustic looks at it and goes, that ain't me.
Now we're in dark. Oh, okay. That's what we're like. Now we're in darkness.
Oh,
Okay.
what happened to our ship?
It's daytime now. It's the daytime map. Here's another question, DM, if I may. Last session, we were beginning to be pursued. Zare noticed that, and I told Tristan to change course. Did that happened, right? Like we've changed course slightly. You're muted.
He got a bit closer to the shoreline, and then kind of took a left. So you guys are now following the shoreline. You're a bit closer to land, but clearly from where you guys are, there is no way of docking. Everything that looks shoreline has either been naturally built to look jagged, or it looks like somebody may have dumped stones here. For some of you, that may look familiar. Callisto, you may have actually had a hand in putting some of those larger stones there. Your people have kind of warded the outside land so that shipgoers can't get there.
Callisto is always down to throw some rocks around. That tracks.
Okay, so basically once everyone wakes up, I will have made tea, and I will just hand everyone a nice cup of... Oh yeah, I need to put myself on the map.
I would say before Callisto comes upstairs, she's gonna drink the potion she's been brewing the entire night. I believe I have to roll for that, right? Because this is the first time in this that she's actually drank it.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a quick Arcana.
Arcana? Okay.
Yes, please. So, with a 12, it'll function. It's probably going to taste a little bit more nasty than usual because everything's kind of just had that little bit of extra time to ferment. So it is completely functional. It will do everything that it's promised. It just... Ugh.
Okay. Do I have to... I remember earlier in the game we were rolling to see if we could keep it down. Do I have to do that?
If you choose to take it immediately, I will say this, as you're like finishing the brew, stirring that last stick into the pot, that smell is like rotting fish and somebody who didn't flush the toilet kind of wafting through each and every one of this second layer floor. So Castor, Finn, maybe even Zer might kind of smell this, judging by where I see people on the ship itself. Feel free to take a potion bottle or vial and swig it whenever you like.
She's gonna do that now. Because...
All right.
Whoa,
Okay,
there's
I
2
guess.
fins.
But
Like most fish.
You're twice on the map, Finn.
Oh, so Finn's in the infirmary?
is that the
Is that
infirmary?
what that is?
Yeah.
Hey, it's a single bed in its own room.
It
Yeah,
is. It's still
I'll-
usable.
yeah,
Thank you,
I'll
whoever
take
put
that.
Callisto on the map.
So it is Solmorum the 14th. Sorry, I did not address that. After nighttime, it would be Solmorum the 14th, I believe. Let me check the calendar because that's more accurate than anything I know. Yes, 14th. Sorry, continue.
She's gonna drink the potion.
Finn, you were going to say something too? I know you're going to drink the potion.
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So you're going to take a swig of that. And I'm going to need a con save to kind of help keep that down. 19. So you're going to steel yourself. Your face might feel a little, like you might feel queasy. Like your body is definitely saying, like, don't ingest this. And you're going to kind of fight that gut reaction. And you do that quite confidently. You'll feel a bit of tingliness, kind of as if your limbs have gone numb, where you feel that pins and needles, and then you'll feel things kind of shift back into place and lock. I'm not going to go into big detail, but it's just all at once.
Yeah, Callisto will down it and just think to herself, well, it's not as bad as some of the stuff Mom used to make. And then she'll head upstairs.
I know we left off last episode with the dream I was having. Do I remember it at all, or? You're muted again.
Refresh my memory.
It was about the guy traveling with Codius.
You remember every bit of that.
Okay. Still have the hat on?
As long as you choose to.
I'm keeping it on. But what's for breakfast?
Well, I honestly thought Castor would be cooking. I can. No promises and anything. At home, I never had to cook, and then with Martha, I wasn't allowed to cook. So,
as his manager, I can't allow him to dirty his hands by cooking anymore.
I would like to point out, it does say on the door that everyone except evidently me is banned from the kitchen. So I get the feeling he's implying that he would like either me or
I'm
himself
allowed
to cook.
in there. It doesn't say anything about
You make an
cost.
excellent point. You are.
I think let's teach him the importance of technicalities and semantics. So it's gonna Caustic is gonna kind of tip-tap their way downstairs, setting the tea on the table, and start making something.
Callisto's gonna help them out.
Soot knows how, like, this is like cooking in, like, theory. Like, oh, theoretically, if you add these ingredients, it will be together. Or Caustic. I mean, Soot knows that too. Yeah, we'll get it right eventually. But, like, so Caustic is just grabbing theoretical ingredients. Gonna, like, gastropub this. What do I roll to cook?
Survival?
Oh yeah, baby.
Can I give them advantage or roll myself because I'm helping?
Do you have proficiency?
I do have
survival?
proficiency in survival, yes.
You may.
While they're cooking, I'm just going to pull out the Andy's deck and then start to just deal it out.
Andy, of course, will appear in his large black jacket and skull clothing. He'll just kind of look at the cards and peer outside and then look back to you and say, "Good morning."
Morning. I got a question. If I bet, like, intangible things, do they still count? Like, let's say I bet a year off my life or something like that. Will you still take them?
One thing I do not do is take years or time. I take information. I take quantifiable things, but I do not have the ability to take from your life.
What if you take knowledge, then how about my ability to play the liar?
You could teach me to play the lyre, and I would accept that. I physically don't have the ability to remove anything from you as your essence, per se. Plus, that's just kind of dark and nasty.
Fair. What would me betting teaching you the liar get me?
Well, seeing as how you would have to do it over cards, it might get you a small bet. Mostly because I also have scrolls, and he'll kind of wave his hand and a dark mist will kind of appear on how to learn the lyre as well. So, and it'll disappear. It's a tricky business. I mostly deal in currency or items.
Gotcha. And could I ask for a specific bet, like, say, a potion of water breathing for you to bet? Or is it just random?
You could. However, the cost of requesting an item means that you would have to put up something much more valuable.
Okay. Just information for right now. We'll maybe play more later, and he'll start to put up the cards. So.
So he'll kind of take his cards. He'll kind of pull up everything. We can do some rollies in the background as we continue.
Yeah.
So from here, though, I'd say anybody who's awake would probably hear the footsteps upstairs. As Tristan is taking care of the rigging, the sails, and the actual ship itself. Zer might actually, let me actually move him. He might be up and kind of helping with the rigging. He seems a little off today. I think maybe something's kind of setting in for him. Maybe a quick cold. He doesn't look 100%. Maybe a bit of a runny nose, some stuffed sinuses. But for the most part, he's at least doing what he can. A cough has kind of come in, so he's not really going to be able to speak much either, because it's kind of like really messing with his throat.
Yeah.
I'll let you guys take it from there. You shut up, because I always talk too much.
Well, I rolled a 23 survival, and Caustic rolled a 4 for cooking.
Okay. So Caustic, you were the first person to roll who was doing the actual base cooking. So I'd say the ingredients and everything look good. It looks like a solid dish. How it might taste is a bit different, Because I'm sure, you might have done the chopping of the onions and the soups or the meats, and Caustic is taking care of the spices, the salt, the pepper, the real flavoring of the dish. And those are, kind of a little bit more difficult to get right.
Cayenne pepper is supposed to be good for you, so the more cayenne pepper you put in a dish, the better it is for you. That's the way that I'm seeing it.
You gotta use a lot of salt too.
Yeah, exactly.
If you don't use a lot of salt, you can't
This is
taste it.
I'm gonna pull a fry line. This is the saltiest thing I've ever eaten, and I wouldn't say a heaping bowl of salt.
Should have had seconds.
Wait, what was
I'll
I
have you know
measured?
there's about a 10% non-lethal dose of salt in this dish.
Oh,
I shouldn't have had
seconds.
10 seconds.
It's 10% less than the lethal dose of salt. Yeah, and Squidward is like, or not Squidward.
Squidward!
Whiteberg. I'm tired. Leave me alone. I said Squidward. What the fuck? I should just go.
You have SpongeBob in the brain too? Cool.
I need to excuse myself forever.
I was gonna say Callisto is just proud of herself for not burning something, because that's normally what would happen if she were in a cooking situation, and she didn't today. Woo!
Charcoal's also good for you. That's the way that Caustic's looking at it. Like, no matter what the outcome, it's all good.
I said Squidward, and now my ears are ringing really, really hard, and I think I might have had a stroke from saying
Squidward instead of Squidward.
Yeah.
Well, Caustic is going to bring this food up and just kind of set it down in front of everyone, like on a table, and just kind of make gentle eye contact with everyone. Just kind of like, it's good for audio to exemplify what gentle eye contact is. And then Caustic is going to sit down, get a plate, and just scoop. It's probably a casserole. That's what I'm always feeling. It's simple enough. And then just going to scoop that up into like a bowl and just start eating it and try not to make any reaction. So that way other people will eat too.
As soon as you brought it out, I got a bowl and ate it.
Callisto eats it with as limited reaction as she possibly can, given she helped make it.
All right. So anybody who is consuming this, I would like a Constitution saving throw.
To answer the pre-ramble, nope, Caustic and Soot definitely have one thing in common.
So Caustic got a natural 1, 2 altogether. Finn got a 15. Alex got a 14. Now, Castor, are you not partaking currently?
He's still asleep. Nobody's woke him up yet.
Okay. So, Caustic, it's immediately going to come up. You're going to need to get to that porthole quickly. There is a porthole right there at the window, opens up everything right into the ocean. Callisto, it's going to take you a little bit longer. You're going to take a few bites, and the first thing that's going to hit you is the heat, right? That's spicy. And then it goes, oh God, that's too spicy. And then your mouth's on fire, kind of like you've eaten 5-layered Diablo spiced Doritos of insanity. Match that with the ungodly amount of salt that comes in there, and you're going to get not only sick to your stomach, but completely parched and kind of cotton-mouthed from this.
I think Castor woke up hearing Caustic throwing up.
Yeah.
And then he comes out and sees Callisto going to throw up. And he's gonna
I
look
think
at
he's
the
the
food.
only person unfazed, then.
He's gonna look at the food, and he's gonna walk down the stairs, and he's gonna go put Caustic's name on the wall.
You gotta bend over Soot, just like garbage.
No, he's leaving Soot in case you decide to go back to being Soot to get past the rules. He's leaving it.
Y'all wouldn't have been able to handle Mother's cooking, as he just keeps eating.
Castor's gonna go in and try to cook something up for himself. And Finn looked fine. Finn was sitting there just fine.
I was eating and just be like, this ain't nothing compared to my mother's cooking.
So Castor's gonna cook up 3 servings of something or other. Just like probably, let's see, what did Finn pick up? Probably like a simple, like, radicchio with a little bit of, just some nice, easy stuff to make for Castor. A little simple salad, and maybe just fry up a couple eggs. And it's a 6. It's not very good either, but it's better than a 4. And it's a salad, so I can't fuck it up that bad.
Callisto would beg to differ.
Has to come up with 3 helpings of that. 1 to Callisto, 1 to Soot, 1 for himself.
To Caustic.
Or 1 to Caustic. It's going to be more bland. He probably didn't want to use spice on it.
Before you come up, Zer will have already come down for his portion. He's going to take about 2 or 3 bites, and I rolled for him because I know, unfortunately, he's not here today, but I put it at disadvantage because he was already ill. His Constitution was an 8 save, so he is also at the porthole. And then immediately after that, he's going to say thank you for the extra food, but he's going to go lay down. So I'm going to go ahead and put him in the bedding there.
All right. So how bad is a 6 salad? I want it described.
All right. So a 6 salad, it's mostly the inner part of the lettuce itself. That really hard, crunchy part that's got almost no nutrition. Because what's a salad without texture? You'll have a few cherry tomatoes, which actually aren't cherry tomatoes. Those are red berries, and they're going to mix nastily with that vinaigrette that you might have. It's just like a few little spices, some pepper ground up, with a little bit of oil. Except the oil in the vinaigrette is burning oil. It's like for the lamps in that room. You accidentally mixed up the actual the oil itself. So it looks visually good. Tastes different. Tastes like you're eating salad with gasoline.
All right, since Castor takes a bite out of that, if anybody else hasn't yet, he's going to grab all 3 plates, throw them out the window, and...
I actually was going to, just for the sake of humor, Callisto eats a bite of the salad and her mouth lights on fire. She just takes it and hands it to Castor like, buddy.
Castor doesn't say a word. Throws it out the window, grabs his holy symbol, and casts create food and water.
And, getting rid of good food.
There is an option, because Andy, after the last round of cards, you guys are just kind of having fun playing without betting.
Yeah.
He'll kind of look to you and go, for about 4 gold, I can summon a royal meal.
Yeah, let's do that.
That's up to you. Like, he'll say that in front of everybody, including Castor.
Oh, as Castor's grabbing his holy symbol. He knows that the create food and water spell is very, very bland. And so he'll say, I'm in, and he'll pony up 4 gold.
Go ahead and do a hand of cards, shall we?
Let's do it.
Oh, we got to play for the meal?
Of course
yeah.
we gotta.
Oh, I thought he was just giving us table service,
No.
All right.
I forget how to do the roll to GM.
GM roll.
/GM. Roll 1d20. That's about right.
Okay. So you guys will do the exchange of coinage, then exchanging cards for the center, kind of filling out your blackjack hand there, which is a really weird game. And someday I think I'm going to come up with the actual rules for this, so that if we ever get together, we'll actually play this. When we reveal, the first cards are going to be Finn's. Finn, you got a pair of 8s. Moving up, you got an 18 Castor. You're going to have a pair of kings. Our gentleman here will reveal his cards. He will have a pair of 4s. So he'll just kind of nod. So altogether, if we're wondering out there, he rolled a 7, Finn got an 8, and then Castor got an 18. he's going to go ahead and kind of wave his hands, and that mist is going to kind of reappear through everything, and you guys are going to see there is going to be, first thing, a freshly roast boar. There is a nice kind of, I want to say it's kind of still steaming. It's got the apple in the mouth. It's got some stuffing to the side of it. It's got a little bit of drizzle and some gravy to the side as well, made from that big fat. And the outside of the boar, though, has been creased in a certain way and cooked till it's almost like a fine kind of thickness. It's almost as if you can like rake your fork against it. This is what is known as crackle. And crackle is a very kind of like delicious pig skin kind of thing. It's crunchy, but on the underside, that meat has been rendered, that fat's kind of pulled from it, and it's just kind of like juicy and tenderness to the taste. Also, as well, there is a fresh Italian salad. There is also going to be a fruit salad as well. There is going to be macaroni salad. There will be mashed potatoes. There will be... What?
You just threw me back without even meaning to. There's this episode of The Simpsons where they get stuck on an abandoned island and Homer introduces all the natives to gambling and they make their own casino and the chief is like, look what you've done. I don't even like macaroni salad. Now look at me. And he's just like pushing his face into 2 bowls of macaroni salad. And I don't know why, but that sent me way back.
There is a very particular pie that looks interesting because it's clear. Like you can see the breading underneath, right? And it's almost kind of very clear. It's like a Jell-O pie almost. But there's like this really strange kind of decoration to the bottom of the bowl itself, which looks like Codius crystal.
Dig in, everybody. Treat.
Callisto immediately goes for the fruit salad.
Wait, do I win the gold back? Too? Or is
Yes.
it just the meal?
Yeah.
Fuck yes. Alright.
Well, yeah, you would win all the gold. So if Finn, you ponied up 4 gold, you would also get Finn's 4 gold, unless you wish to receive that back to him.
Maybe eventually. Maybe eventually I'll give him back his money. I gotta pay my manager eventually.
Question. Is it like your typical like PTA mom fruit salad, or is it like interesting fruits?
It's going to be interesting fruits, mostly in a fruit salad, you're going to have things like pineapple. Jib fruit will be mixed in there. Like that ambrosia kind of stuff, like that thing where you bite and it almost tastes like the most perfect meal that you've ever had. So like jib fruit is a very particular fruit in the world, and I think I've went over this a little bit, but the sourness or the gentle kind of thing kind of washes over your taste buds, finds the most appeasable taste, and then imitates that taste for your taste buds. So it's definitely a royal meal. That jib fruit is almost $600 a pop.
Yeah, it's Cherryton special. My family one of the few that know how to farm it.
Yeah, Callisto's just digging into the salad. She's claimed the salad as her own. If you want salad, you must ask her first and maybe pay her. Good
Callisto,
luck.
may I have some salad, please?
Yeah, sure.
Looks really good.
Also,
It is really good.
the gold I took, I bet, was from the party fund, so it could just go back to the party fund.
No, it'll go into my pocket for now.
Callisto,
called
are you
winning,
also
boys.
guarding the fruit?
That's the one she's talking about.
That's the only salad I'm guarding.
Not like full salad. Okay.
No,
All right.
just the fruit salad.
Caustic will walk over. Is it possible that I can also have some fruit? If not, that's fine. It's just, to be honest, it's a rare thing. Even in honestly, especially in Lord Rim, it was quite rare.
She looks Caustic up and down and kind of narrows her eyes, and this goes, Yeah. Here, you all can have salad. I'm just being dramatic.
I mean, admittedly, we had some persimmons, I think, was what we grew. I don't really remember fruit too much. I wasn't a big fan of them.
I'm also not a fan of persimmons, so I feel that.
I'm taking my piece of the hog and putting way too much salt on it.
Nice.
Caustic will, basically try to get everything and just kind of, like, very deliberately eat everything, like, eat one piece of each thing, like, at a time, and then kind of start tucking into food, like, once they've tasted everything.
That's fair. I mean, when again are you ever going to be able to really taste a royal meal again, you know? Because this looks like it was fit for a king. There is, like, heaping helpings of everything, and there's kind of a slather of everything. They've even got, like, the little mini sandwiches that you can just partake in.
Is
Just
Andy still out?
Yeah, Castor's gonna deal another hand if Andy's still out.
Andy is out because once the card was done, he's just kind of like he's set up for the next game. I will say that as you guys are eating, you kind of hear some splashes outside.
I'll go out and look.
Castor will accompany.
Well, I was actually. I'll just. I'll go with. I was going to be like, I'll stay with Andy, but no, it's more fun if everybody gets to see.
Callisto will go up to the top deck with her fruit salad.
So you guys are dead ocean at this point, and you guys are going to get a few views of things at first that kind of live in the ocean, and they all in separate parts might come in different places and kind of swim by the ship itself. The first one is this dragon-like esque almost thing. It's got like 4 legs and lots of frills off the side of it. It's like an aqua blue with like a shimmer to the skin, almost like it's got a light aura that almost what do they call it? A bioluminescence that kind of shimmers with the light. It's got this light, large blue line that kind of swims down the back of its actual spine itself. And it's an absolute striking thing. It's almost like a fish mixed with an anemone. And it's just absolutely gorgeous. But kind of like swimming along the like arms of this larger kind of thing it almost looks like a manatee, but it's got arms and legs, and it's got a rather large, wide, flat head with two kind of tendrils that move about, almost kind of feeling the water's current and like letting it know, maybe even temperature and stuff. And those blue things are kind of like eating off the underside of it, and you'll see that kind of swim by you guys a little bit and then dip in the water. And as it dips in the water, you'll see only like one other really different sight. It's a really, really old, ancient fish. It's probably one of the main fish that has been seen in Talalia since the very beginning of its founding.
Incendium.
It's kind of long. Incendium. It's rather long. It holds these bluish scales on the back of it. It looks almost like dragonic, and it's got 2 little horns that kind of poke out, and it's got kind of the face of a snout-nosed alligator or crocodile, really. And 2 large fins on either side with a rather large tail fin that is very fluorescent. It's this really bright purple that kind of flows almost like a what do they call it? The really beautiful fish. They're like really small but territorial, large fins and like shimmering colors. They're sold at pet stores all the time. They're really cheap.
Betas.
Beta. It's almost got a really beautiful beta tail kind of look to it. And this is just like some of the wildlife. So as you guys can see, it's not like anybody sneaking up on the boat. It's not anything causing danger, but for the first time, you really get to take in some beauty from the ocean.
I have a question, Corey. When Castor was going around and looking throughout the boat to repair it and stuff, did perchance, I find any fishing rods?
You found 2. They need new line, but they are usable.
Because fishing sounds fun. Maybe not for those, but just fishing in general.
Yeah.
Callisto is gonna go over to the railing with her fruit salad still. She's not letting go of that bowl. And go over to the railing and just kind of wave at the fish in whatever animalistic manner she can. She just says in Druidic, like, "Hi, fish! Hi!"
So while the creature or the large fin is over on the side, the manatee has reemerged on the other and is kind of like looking at the boat itself. So it's like suction cupped its hands on the boat and it's kind of like lipping like a camel does on the side of it, trying to get like these crustaceans off. It seems like it benefits the boat to kind of have these around because it eats the manatees, the crustaceans, and kind of stuff off the hull. Barnacles. Thank you. That was the word I was searching for there.
Yep.
And, you can kind of wave. It'll look to you and kind of tilt its head like a confused dog, almost, and then go back to lipping.
Aw. Okay. Bye, fish. I would turn into a fish and come say hi to you, but the last time I did that, I got stabbed. So, bye. Bye.
So,
she just walks away.
We can hear you talking to it in language we don't understand, correct?
Druidic.
Yeah, she speaks Druidic. She is speaking Druidic at the moment.
How far from the boat? How far from the boat is it?
They're on the boat.
Like how far?
Yeah, it's
how
like
far
on
from
the
edge?
boat, like suctioned.
Is there like a window I could go to touch it?
You might be able to do it around the porthole of the kitchen, just down the steps. Might be. It might be a reach to kind of touch it.
I'm gonna give it a shot because I want to do something for Callisto, and
Mm.
I grabbed the spell for today because I didn't feel like I'd be using other spells. I'm gonna try to touch the manatee and cast the spell Tongues on it so it can understand Callisto speaking to it, and it can speak back if it knows any sort of thing.
All right, let's see.
Time to talk
You
to
are
the fish.
casting a spell. I'm gonna need to roll for basically its courage. It's a spooker.
That's a
So
brave.
it'll stay. It'll kind of lip over your hand. You'll pull it back. You got like glopping slobber on your hand.
Nice. Gross.
It smells like fish. I shouldn't say taste. It smells like fish. It's got that really kind of fishy smell to it.
Castor just licks it.
Castor will shake it off his hand and then head back up to the deck and say to Callisto, who seemed disappointed, try talking to it now.
Okay. She goes back over to the railing and she's gonna try common this time to say, "Hi, fish. Hello."
So this is where I get to kind of... The spell went off. There is one requirement for this spell, which makes it not active. The creature must already know at least one language. Because it is a creature, it knows no language.
No, that's when it speaks.
Yeah, when any target speaks, the creature knows, as long as it knows any one language, it can hear the target and understand what it says.
That means if that creature could speak, we could understand it, no matter what.
Spell grants a creature you touch the ability to understand any spoken language it hears. Moreover, when the target speaks, any creature that knows at least one language and can hear the target understands what it says. It sounds more like it's specifying that it has to at least know one language, regardless.
Out of curiosity, does it have an
Hold on. The way I'm reading it, it says that you touch the creature, and on top of it being able to understand any spoken language, when the target, which is the creature that I touched, speaks, any creature that knows a language, which would be any of us, can hear the target, the manatee would understand what it is saying. It can't speak back to us, and we can't understand it, but it could understand us, is what I'm getting from that.
The intelligence of this thing is 2.
It can't communicate back, but it could understand hi, is what I would...
I think it can understand hi just without the spell, but
I don't think it would be able to give us information. I don't think we're looking for that. I think she just wants to say hi to it.
I'm letting you know that it's not really going to be like too responsive because I don't want to upset you or anything like that. Fine. But I just got to be true to what the information is. And
yeah, no, it's fine. You're good.
Yeah, you're fine.
I mean, it's
I just
gonna
wanna
look
say I
up.
was
It's
there.
not gonna be spooked. Again, it's gonna tilt its head the other way this time, as if kind of like almost trying to tilt its head because it doesn't have very good depth perception. It's almost like a bird. It's gonna tilt its head a little bit and then kind of dip and move.
Prey creature with the eyes on the side of its head.
Yeah. Callisto's just like, you're adorable. I am still not entirely sure you can understand me, but you're so cute. Hi. Look. And it turns to the rest of the party and just goes, look how cute it is.
Not on my boat as Finn gets a stick
Stop.
and starts.
Finn!
I'm joking.
You better be.
Oh, my stomach just went very muted.
So, being that it's feeling strange, it's not frightened, and as you said, it is a predator.
Oh, prey animal.
Oh no, this is a predator animal.
Oh, then it would have its eyes in the front of its head.
I know. It's the genetics here are different.
Okay.
So
Which
what's
genetics
going to
is-
happen
which
is it's going to shoot bubbles at you. It's about 19 to hit.
Yeah, me?
Yes.
Yeah, that hits.
All right. It's not that horrible. It's a low end weapon. It's kind of like the get away from me thing. It's going to shoot. Those bubbles are going to kind of pop on you, and you'll see them kind of steam and kind of almost try to slightly melt or burn into your armor. They are acidic.
Callisto looks at the creature and just goes, rude.
It's going to splunge back into the water.
Yeah, okay, cool. Love you too. Bye. Why are all the fish around here assholes?
I don't know. I just cast a spell on it so it could understand what you were saying.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Didn't seem to work very much.
No,
I don't know. It's the first time I've
unfortunately,
used that spell.
It seemed like it made it angry.
I think I made it angry. I don't think that's on you, Castor, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Really, thank you. It's adorable.
Thanks. I just figured I'd try something new out. No, test my abilities a little bit.
Yeah. Cool. It's a shame you didn't get to see the fish, Caustic.
Oh, I was watching from up top deck. That's what I was doing. I thought I didn't feel like sticking my head out the porthole. That didn't seem like
That's
fun
fair.
to me. Plus, it feels really nice up. It's good to get a breeze. It's a little bit stiff down here. But I'm actually interested in playing a game now. I've realized I do have something of somewhat mild value. Andy, if you'll take it. Assuming Andy is back out, Caustic will pull out their crossbow and the 15 bolts that they have remaining for it. I don't have... Actually, I'd like to offer a full trade. Caustic will pull out the Misty Step scroll. I've heard tell of spells that are able to break the barrier between life and death if it has been broken very soon. What is the word? Recently, if it has been broken recently. And I'd like to, if you have that, I'll ante up this spell, and Caustic will put the Misty Step scroll on the table, just as a reassurance if we're going into the jungle. I don't want to... I think this would be less useful than a backup plan.
Do you really want to play with that? Oh, sorry.
I can't do full trades, but you can play me for it.
Right, that's what I meant. Like, I'll ante this if it is an equal ante to the spell. If that is what which I think it is, that is what I'm saying.
What exact spell are you looking from me?
I actually, out of character, just realized that Misty Step is a 2nd level spell, but I am looking for Revivify. And I have a few more things to pony up, if you would like me to.
Let's see. You're looking for an exact spell that can bring people back from the dead, is that what you're saying?
Very recently deceased people back from the dead. I do not need anything, within the year or within 100 years, just people that have just fallen.
Just so that I give you the warning, as I do with all magical items that could be very dangerous, you would basically be using the spell to rip the creature's soul from her Vestrum himself.
When Andy says that, Soot will kind of look, or Caustic will look, think, you do make a good point there.
He makes a very good point there, Caustic.
I honestly hadn't really considered that, and Caustic will kind of feel at their neck for that emblem that they carry, the symbol of Harvestrum. Best not to make him angry. I've been on his good side twice somehow, so best not to get on his bad side.
Also, don't you think we played too much around with that area?
Well, presumably it wouldn't be for me. And I figured that the balance wouldn't be upset if we did it essentially right then and there. If someone steps into the stream and you just grab them by their collar and just pull them back.
I don't think it cares how soon we do it. I think it's just we've stepped in and already broken it before.
It doesn't care how quickly we do it, because we did it to you right after you died.
I did not really pay too much attention in church growing up, so I apologize for not being terribly wise in those things. Well, I suppose then our plan for the Grangle Jungle will be caution instead of recklessness then, even though it would have been caution before. Yes, it would have been caution before. I was just looking for a backup plan.
When have we ever done cautious?
Well, we're going to do cautious, Finn.
We haven't, and that's kind of the problem, is that we make a plan, then something happens, and then we immediately go off the plan. So, if we make a plan as... Oh, sorry.
I, the player, just wanted to mention, by the way, Callisto is notably staying in the back of the room and staying silent this entire conversation. Just trying to look at the floor and not pay attention.
Well, I don't have much to gamble with, unfortunately. I'm quite low in funds.
I have some funds you can borrow.
There's also nothing that I want. It's just
there's something that I want, Caustic. And the fun part of the fun of this is giving Andy something and then seeing what he will give you for it. It's exhilarating. You say, I have this book, and Andy goes, well, I have this faucet that can get you stuff from a tree, and it's wonderful. But I was trying to have Zereth pick something up for me when we were in Obrim, but he never got around to it. I need a deck of cards to cast my augury spell with.
Just a plain deck of cards?
No, they have to be expensive.
What is this? And Caustic will kind of motion to the magical deck of cards that we currently have.
That's Andy's home.
And these are my cards. I claim them. They're Andy's.
No, you can't claim them, Finn.
I've had them.
We found them together, same time.
Does this augury spell consume the cards when you use them?
No, but I don't think Andy would appreciate me using his cards to...
Caustic will look at Andy. Will this be a problem? Will it affect you in any way?
Sorry, I tuned out there. What?
Our friend here, Castor, needs a fairly nice, expensive set of cards to use for a spell as a focus. What I'm seeing here is a fairly nice, expensive set of cards that he could use as a focus as long as it wouldn't disrupt you, which is Castor.
I'm not a focus. I'm actually not able to be a focus.
Okay, that answers that question. Then yes,
I do have other sets of cards within the items that I own. I also have instruments, legendaries as well, scrolls, spells.
I'm looking for something to cast augury with, Corey. Because Zereth was supposed to get me a set of cards or some sticks for augury, but that never happened.
Yeah, I mean he's got decks.
I can't ask him directly for one. That's
Yeah,
the
you
problem.
can. No,
Just-
you can.
You can put like 25 gold in and then be like, if I win, you give me a 25 gold deck of cards.
So I know it's hard to understand how Andy works, right? But think of it this way, right? Andy is kind of personal, so he's like a living thing. If he knows that you're going to need cards, if he knows that you're kind of looking after things, he could use those to kind of sweeten the bet, knowing you. Think of him kind of like the analytics from Facebook. Oh, you were searching for a baby crib? I have a baby crib. In a kind of situation.
I will, if Caustic wants to play with me as well, because I'm going to put in some money, and we can all play. I'm going to put in one set of fine clothes, and
I'll ask if you've worn them.
Once.
Even better.
That makes me very uncomfortable.
Oh, nice.
And 12 gold pieces.
I'm gonna sit this hand out, and noticing Callisto being quiet, is gonna go, stand next to her.
Before you do that, I just want to settle inventory stuff, because Caustic gave you the 3 history books that aren't even written in Modern Common and a Dragon Tooth. Did we...
I think I lost the history books. No, wait. I have them because they were the hat. So I still have them. And the Dragon Tooth was lost to him. He has it now.
Okay.
I will give the books back.
Okay, I was about to be like, I don't know if we want to RP, like, can I have my books back? And then you'd be like, yeah, like, just save the 2 seconds.
Yeah, he'll put them on the table and walk away.
Alright, so Caustic...
Caustic, Jace, do not forget, also, party loot. We have the...
we do have a whole bunch of...
And the red emblazoned shield.
The cursed shield that no one has weird yet.
Well, no one has worn because it's got, like...
We don't know
it's cursed
on it.
True.
Also,
not this timeline.
That's true.
This timeline, we don't know if it's cursed, so we can just put that stuff in.
Where is that? Okay, party loot. Got it. The dwarven hammer is just normal, right?
Yeah.
And we no longer have the moon crystal because Soot gave that to their fiance, whose name I have forgotten, but Soot and Caustic have not.
And Glass Galaxy Longsword and the red crystal emblazoned shield. And we're not doing anything with the feather pen knife. I think Sarah still has that, to be honest.
Okay, and Zer has the Shard of Codia's crystal.
Yes.
Okay. There we go. Did I take the dragon? I don't know. Anyway, so Caustic will put in the Warhammer? Unless
it's just a hammer. It's just like a blacksmith hammer.
Oh, okay. Well, actually, Caustic will put in the hammer and the shield. The shield is nice, but I was wondering if you had anything that is more specific about protecting others, and is also in a little bit of a better color scheme. Red is nice. I prefer more of an orange or gray, to be honest. Those are the colors that I think I look best in. Caustic will actually look at Castor whenever they say those are the colors I look best in. Just going, oh.
Castor will like shrug and he doesn't know what you're getting at.
So, first of all, while you guys are kind of figuring out your bets, because it is going to take you guys a little bit of time, he's just going to kind of sit back and shuffle the deck as you guys think and talk and ante up your bets. He's going to kind of wave his hand. It's a little board, and out of mist, some of those instruments that he'd spoken of earlier are going to kind of appear floating and playing for his amusement. Let me go ahead and give you a look at some of those magic items. Let's see here.
No, we don't. No, Caustic.
Here is. And there. Oh, it didn't save it. He's also got kind of a. I would call it a loot, but I will find that later and put that out. So they're pretty sparkly. One of them looks almost like they're made out of crystal. The other one looks like it's made out of a bit of ivory with some kind of plants around the base. If anybody's interested, you can roll a knowledge on it. If not, it's fine. Once you guys put up.
Would I get advantage on the history or knowledge for these instruments since I've studied instruments? So yeah, I'm gonna roll for at least for that harp. Okay. History?
Yes.
All right.
So with a 17, you'll know that harp is actually from a legendary adventurer, a satyr. It was part of a group of 7. These legendary groups actually was able to stop a landslide off of a great mountain, saving a small village. They did this kind of together using the techniques that they had learned along their travels, and kind of in a roundabout way, we're also part of one of the many legendary groups that ended up ending slavery for the most part, or making it illegal. So it's rather valuable. It was said to be lost to time.
I'm gonna, as I see that, I'm gonna send a message to, sending to Castor.
Are you sending? Holy shit!
I don't want other people to hear this. Try to get the harp for me, please.
Castor will send back. Come enter the game.
No.
Did you just cast sending just to say?
Yes, I did.
You only spoke 5 to 10 words each. What a waste of a 3rd level spell.
Also, he's 10 feet away.
Oh well.
Yell.
Oh well.
Let's enjoy our spell.
I used a 3rd level spell to make a manatee talk to Callisto. Okay.
And it didn't.
Oh,
so,
definitely.
Yeah.
We're having fun with spells today.
If I feel like I'm gonna just dimension door myself downstairs.
Stairs are so utterly boring.
Exactly. But I'm walking to Callisto as they're setting up their game, and when I send that to him.
So, he's gonna kind of look over the offers here, because we've got the fine clothes and 12 gold, and then from Soot, what did we finalize with yours? Sorry, there was a lot going on.
Yes, Caustic is gonna put in the red crystal emblazoned shield, and then the dwarven hammer that is in the group loot.
Let me see what he might be willing to ante up.
And I politely requested a shield that would be better for.
Don't request things. Don't request things, Caustic. It gets you lower stuff. You have to just let him give what he gives.
So he's gonna put up something kind of random. Let me see here. It is. Sorry, 1 second. I've lost it.
Haven't we all?
Nice.
I never had it.
Okay, here we go. In-game info, because I got to start putting it in the right place. is going to pony up this mechanical. Best thing to say is like a budgie. It's going to kind of sit on the table, inactive. And then he is going to ante up a scroll. And the scroll seems to depict a certain fighting maneuver, which could potentially do what you want in battle, though it's not magical itself. It's a technique lost to time from an ancient scholar.
Okay. Caustic will look at these. You said the bird thing is like off, like it's powered off?
Yes. He'll kind of look to both of them and he'll say, the scroll of protect self and friend. You can rename it, sure. It's a very archaic name. And the bird of familiar.
Sure. I'll consider that an equal bet. Looking at Castor, yes, Castor wanted to put something in as well, I think.
I did. I put in my fine clothes.
Oh, that's it?
And 12 gold. Yeah, I did.
All right. Here we go. Let us roll. Well, let us play.
All right.
Let us roll. That sounds good. It's just like a little bit of ham in there, some cheese, some mustard mayo, wrapped in a layer of like lettuce, so you just got that bitely crunch. It's like a healthy burrito.
I'm talking about food.
Sorry, I'm hungry.
Same.
I'm just waiting on a GM roll of a 1d20 from Soot.
Okay. I wasn't sure what I was rolling. Okay.
My bad. Caustic. We've changed so many goddamn names.
A 20, you said?
Yes, just a flat 20.
Hold on. There was an error with my formula. One more time.
/ GM roll, all one word.
I know. I think I put in like the wrong dice format.
It happens.
I only come with one name, and it's stayed the same the entire campaign. So,
all right.
Woo.
That's about right.
So you guys will kind of shift through the cards there. And, Castor, your hand's not going to be great. When you guys show... I'm sorry?
I said, nope, it's not.
Yeah. So you're going to show... Castor, you're going to have a 2 and an 8. The 8 is high. There's no match there. It's not very good. Soot, you're going to turn over a 10, so you're going to have a pair of 10s. And then we're going to get to Andy. Andy's going to flip over his cards. And he's going to have a pair of 4s.
For real?
Yes. So Castor got a 3, he got a 4, you got a 10.
Hell yeah! I was
I wanted that bird so bad.
I want the bird.
I was going to give it to you.
Perfectly mediocre. So Caustic will kind of grab this scroll, tuck it into like a waistband or not really any pockets in medieval clothes. Just grab
Castor
the bird.
looks forlornly at the bird.
How does this thing work?
The item, when paired with a creature that you are raising yourself, whether that be a boar, horse, bird, animal, it can be wound and used as a toy. In doing that, they have the likelihood of becoming your familiar.
Oh, okay, well that's oddly convenient. Caustic will just walk back. They've been... Is this bird like that I have, at least in my head, I'm imagining it's still at that weird fledgling phase where it's like patchy feathers and stuff like that?
It is. It's a few days older, so some of those patches are kind of growing in. You're starting to see some of the color from the feathers that will be there. It's not as scrawny as it was. It can definitely walk on its own now, but it's kind of like one of those things where it's definitely not ready to fly. It still needs taken care of, and you kind of you got to watch it around like small falls from like table to the floor.
Thank God I left it on the boat when I went into an exploding building that killed me outright almost.
You also got
Definitely
Castor's-
canonically did that.
You also got Castor's clothes and his 12 gold.
Caustic will just push those to the side, scoop back. Actually, we'll push the shield and the hammer over to Castor, and we'll go into... is this the brig right here?
Yeah.
Oh, funnily enough, Caustic's gonna walk downstairs to the brig and set up a little giant bird cage and start letting his bird play with the toy bird.
Castor will pick
I mean,
up
that's-
all the stuff
Sorry.
that he set aside. I'm gonna say Castor will just pick up all the stuff he set aside, and if nobody else is gambling, Castor's not gonna gamble. That'd be an addictive personality habit.
Well, if we're done for the game, Sandy will return back to the deck.
While they were gambling, I like I said, I walked to Callisto, and it's like, if she's like near a wall, I lean to it and it's like, I can stand here and you're not gonna punch me, are you?
No, I'm not going to punch you. You deserved it the one time. I'm not going to do it again. Don't panic, for the sake of your face.
Well, that's good, because we never did finish our talk.
We didn't. That's true. Do we want to? Do we need to?
We don't talk much, so figured why not?
True. Okay. I'll be dead honest with you. I don't remember where we left off, so please, if you got something to say it.
I don't either. A lot happened. It's really only been like, what, 2 days?
Maybe 3?
Maybe 3.
Been like 6 days since you guys had your talk. Like
Has
almost
it
3.
Really?
It was intense.
Time is a flat circle.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
No, just want to see how you were doing. You seemed very quiet when the whole scroll talking started. And I remember earlier days when we talked about that kind of stuff too. You were quiet.
Quiet for different reasons.
Do you have a problem with the, I guess the best word, resurrection and all that?
Me? No. Sometimes I wonder if I'm the only person in the group who doesn't. I told you about my family.
Yes.
I'll be honest, in the early days, there was part of me that wanted to find some form of solution to undo it, to bring them all back. I might still want that now. Not sure.
I can't blame you. If, to be honest, if I was in the same situation, I could see myself, like, it's a reasonable want.
I guess. I don't really have anything to compare it to. I mean, one day, everything's not necessarily great, but normal. The next, poof.
Well, I know that feeling.
Yeah, I guess we all know it in different ways, don't we?
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry for punching you in the face.
It's like you said, I deserve it. Then
Yeah,
again, I deserve a punch in the face a lot of the time, so I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, you didn't deserve it that much. I was mostly just getting upset, and I didn't want you to be talking anymore, and then I just kind of punched you. And I do feel bad. I don't want to say I do feel bad. I apologize for knocking you out. You deserved it, but I didn't mean to knock you out. I didn't realize I could do that, to be quite frank.
I mean, you do turn into a bear a lot, so
Well, yeah. Yeah, I turn into a bear, but when I'm not a bear, I'm a freaking twig. I should not have been able to punch you that hard. I don't know how it happened, but I mean, hey.
It helped me in a way. So, besides what I now that I'm thinking about it, I do know what we were talking about. It was the incident or the night, as we all know.
Right. That. Speaking of resurrection.
Yep. But what I think what I was going to say was wrong. I was telling you it's not your fault. It's not Castor's. I was going to tell you it's my fault.
And that's bullshit, and we both know it.
It is, because it was all three of our faults. We made the decisions to go out there. We thought we could handle it, even though we were all injured. And we paid the consequences. So what I'm saying now is, we know what happened. We know what came of it. We've dealt with it. We move on. We stop blaming.
I will be honest with you, Finn. I never blamed anyone but myself for your death.
And that's another thing. You blame yourself too much for everything that happened around you.
Much of the time, it's deserved.
No, it's not. You may see it that way, trust me. I saw it that way too. But things happen that we can't control. That we think we can control. It's not your fault that I died, not completely. That blame goes to me and Castor and you. It's not your fault that your people died. You can't
really
blame
think
yourself. That? I 100% believe that.
I know that, in theory. It's hard to remember that when everybody else is dead but you. It's hard not to feel a little guilty, right?
Yeah. But you shouldn't let it weigh you down. Use the guilt to move forward.
How exactly do you propose I do that?
That what happened to you does not happen again to somebody else.
Gusto kind of thinks about that for a second. Says, okay.
Maybe there was something else that made sure you were alive, so you could help somebody else live live to stop what happened to you happen to somebody else.
We call that garden variety indecision, but I appreciate the thought.
Or maybe there was something else there that wanted you to remember your people and to continue their memory on.
I've lost a lot of my faith in God, so that's gonna take a little bit to figure out in my head, but okay, sure, let's roll with that. So what do you think the gods want me to do?
I couldn't answer that, And I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying, if you let the past shackle you, then that's what it is. You'll never see the present. You'll just be shackled to the past.
I can't unshackle myself from the past until the man who did this is dead, Finn.
Then you know what you need to do to move forward.
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
And it's not like we won't help you. I know for a fact that Castor will personally put the man on a spike. We all will. But Mohammed had a saying that he used to love tell me, and I didn't really understand it until recently. He never looked back, because time itself doesn't. Time marches forward no matter what choices we made. So keep walking forward.
That's deep, man.
He had his moments.
That was awful.
It was, but he'd hate me if I didn't do it at least once.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Just so you guys are aware, Castor walked downstairs as soon as you guys started having your private conversation so that he didn't interrupt anything.
I was wondering what you were doing with your hands.
I was saying I went down to watch the birdcage situation going on.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Well. Guess we're gonna go kill a man then. Hey, Finn.
Yep.
Can I tell you something and have you swear on your life you will not share it with the rest of the party?
Well, since I was going to make a bad joke, but yeah, no, I won't tell them.
Should we stay at earshot of the deck? Do you think that Andy can hear us? I don't know how magic cards work.
Oh, I was gonna say he's gone.
Yeah, he put himself back.
Gone.
Yeah.
And say, should we stay out of earshot of the deck itself?
Yeah, no, we'll walk further away if you like.
Yeah, she's gonna walk a little further away. Just sit down and say, so I think I mentioned earlier that my fiance is alive.
Yeah, you never got the details fully, but
there's reasons for that. Very long story short, he kinda sorta came back from the dead. By natural causes? He appears to be a necromancer of some kind, which is, I mean, admittedly very cool, but also terrifying. And he wants to bring my entire family back.
like Finn's face is like blank for a second, like he puts his finger up and like tries to say something, stops, does it again, stops. Then he's like, when you say necromancer, you don't mean the whole like evil undead horde skeletons army take over the world.
I would tend to doubt it. I don't know much about necromancers, but I mean, RK himself is a nice person. Doesn't seem to have changed much, so I don't imagine he would have done any reviving of the undead for unholy purposes. I don't know. But that's not the problem. The problem is that he wants to use the crystal to do it, and apparently he found this scroll in my mom's hut, which I don't know how that ended up there, of mass resurrection, and apparently that can bring my entire family back if we just use the crystal to do it, and I don't know what to think. Help.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, tell me about it.
First of all, you know we can't let him do that because we don't know what will happen to Arwen if he uses the crystal.
Yeah, and that's my entire problem! And that's why I brought it up to you and not to the others, because I know that if I said the words mass resurrection, I think Castor might just reflexively want to punch him in the face.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I have those same kind of feelings about the resurrection, so
I know, I just figured you wouldn't reflexively want to punch my fiancé in the face, you'd be chill about it. Not that I don't like Castor, I do like Castor quite well, but...
yeah, maybe there's another way. Maybe we can talk with him.
Maybe?
Maybe 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 he doesn't have to use the crystal. Maybe if we can find another, I guess, magic source that could be strong enough.
And what magic source is powerful enough that it won't completely overturn the balance? I mean, with love and respect, Finn, you're a walking example.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't want to immediately shoot down the idea of bringing your family back because it's your family.
Yeah, no, I see where you're coming from. I'm not taking it well, as you might imagine. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know what I'm supposed to be thinking about this. Nobody makes a roadmap for your entire family getting murdered.
Nobody makes a roadmap for you dying and coming back.
That's also entirely fair.
It's... I hate to say it like this, but it might be either a play by ear, or you might need to tell the others. I'm not saying you have to, and I'm not gonna go immediately after this conversation tell Castor, but
Thank you. That would result in me turning into a bear and probably doing unsavory things to your... It just kind of indicates the manhood.
yeah, but the biggest question, I guess, is, I'm sure you've thought of this, but do you think they'll come back? They'll want to come back. Do you think they want this?
Oh, gods above. I hadn't thought about it much. I don't know. I mean, I imagine my mom would be the most likely. I mean, our whole job was protecting something. And I don't know what that thing is. My sister did, my mom did, and if I don't know what I'm doing, then my mom might want to come back and be the person who knows what she's doing, because her daughter clearly doesn't, as per usual, but I don't know about everybody else.
I think what we need to do, I know it might be hard for you, but we need to go back to your village and maybe see what else was hiding in your mom's hut. Because if she had this scroll, it's weird to say, but it makes it sound like this was some kind of plan.
Exactly! Sorry, you were saying?
It's did you search your I guess the thing is, when you found what happened to your family, did you search any of their buildings, like your mom's hut or anything like that?
I did, yeah. When after the whole cremation alive, so to speak, I keep coming up for different terms with it because it makes it easier to cope with.
The incident, I think that's better.
After the incident, yeah. I went back the next day, and in the remains of the hut there was a chest. It looked like just typical chest at the foot of my mom's bed that had my sister's necklace that my dad had given her, which I am wearing now, and she holds up the emerald pendant.
Mm.
And then this, when she holds up the staff that has not left her hand this entire conversation. This was my mom's. This was her sage's staff, essentially. So it felt only... Well, it feels unnatural to hold it, but, I mean, it works.
Can I see it for a second?
Yeah.
Can I make like some kind of check on it, like an Arcana check, see if there's something else to it? Her staff?
Be sure, may.
Callisto will hand it over.
I'm just trying to think of, like, it seems weird to me.
I mean, so with a 20, you can kind of look it over. It doesn't really scream magic. There's no kind of, like...
There's nothing hidden on there. Yeah, there's nothing like hidden on it, or writings, or runes.
I mean, there's writings and runes, but none of them seem to match up with a standardized Arcana scripture.
Mm.
Callisto can read those, right? Because it would be in Druidic?
A few are in Druidic, a few are in, like, different languages, actually. So, like,
Okay.
It's collectic.
Mm.
Cool.
He'll hand it back, but did he say where in her tent he found it? The scroll?
Hold for medical attention. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Corey, he said it was just in the ruins of the hut. Okay. Yeah, it was just in what remained. There wasn't much left. Honestly, everything kind of burned. That's the sad thing about forests, is they burn very easily.
Yeah.
And when your entire village is made out of magical trees, it's a problem.
I hate to say this, because I know he's her fiance and all that, which we're gonna round back to that point in a little bit, but it feels like there's something missing. I mean, I'm not saying you wouldn't have seen it in your traumatic experience, you wouldn't have found it, but I'm sure other people would have been there, and if this thing was just out or like in rubble, it would have been found. A scroll like this is not something people would just
I'm honestly just surprised I didn't find it. In theory, nobody survived, and then I survived. RK was brought back from the dead and found the scroll in the rubble. I still don't know what happened to my uncle. He's alive, but he's got amnesia, which is always fun in trying to figure out pieces of your trauma. So, I don't know. In theory, everyone else is gone. So it wouldn't have been found.
I do think it might be good to go back to where it happened and study the runes more. The ruins. Might find something that even he missed.
Maybe. Who knows? Maybe that's where the crystal is. That'd be funny.
Y'all are guarding the spot where the crystal would have landed?
That would be absolutely insane, but it might be around that area. Who knows?
Also, like I said, scroll back to it.
Huh?
Your fiance.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. How to put this nicely? What's the deal with you and Castor?
Callisto just kind of chokes for a second, like, you just came right out and said it. Okay.
I couldn't find a way to say it nicely, so I'm just like,
fucking. I don't know what the deal is with me and Castor. I mean, I don't know why I'm suddenly going southern. This is not intentional, I swear. I'm so sorry. I don't know how to put it. Well, Castor was the first person who I found, who I met after the whole everybody dying thing. And he was really nice. And, we traveled together for a while. We got to know each other. Not a lot, but, like, enough. And then we met you all, and we've been friends ever since. And I don't know. I don't know how emotions work, dude. Like, I guess I hadn't really considered what love feels like. And then I still don't know what love feels like. Because it's complicated. It's complicated. What were you gonna say? I'm sorry.
oh no, I'm just watching this like walk back and forth. I mean, I'm not asking you to define it. I'm just, it's like, I guess the best thing I could say is like, I mean, do you feel the same way you felt about your fiance before all this happened?
No? It's
Okay.
different. Arguably better. Very long story short, RK and I were very, very close as kids. We were best friends. I saved his ass from a bunch of people who were bullying him for being short. It's a cute story, but we were friends for a very long time, and then we kind of fell in love in the way that kids do. You know, like, just, hey, you're cute, kiss me. I don't know. And then our parents were very traditional people and basically said, yeah, you two get together. Now we kiss. And then we did.
So it's more of an arranged marriage instead of love.
It was an arranged marriage with benefits. I mean, we were friends. We are friends, I hope. I don't know. I guess with Castor, God, I don't know how to describe it. It's different. You know?
I mean, that's the best description of it. It's different. You don't feel the same way that you do about your fiance that you feel about Castor.
I mean, outside of us being friends, no. It's different because he's not. I mean, for one thing, he's not a tiefling, and I don't mean that in a racist way. I mean that I grew up with tieflings, and he's different. He's not a tiefling, and I kind of like that, to be honest. But I don't know. The fact that I can't define my feelings drives me mad. You know? I don't know how love works. You know how love works. How does love work?
Me?
Yeah, you.
I will tell you exactly what I know about love. Not a damn thing.
Oh, yeah. And there was nothing between you and Anastasia at all? Nothing whatsoever? Nada?
That's happened. I mean, that's happening. I'm still trying to figure that out.
But you know something. Because she's cute, and you know that.
I mean, I didn't... It's not just because she's cute, it's... There's something about her that like... It's her... I'd almost say it's like her soul spoke to me when I heard her playing. It was beautiful. It was a connection on a different level.
God, that's adorable. We need to talk about this more later. I feel like
Yeah.
the kitchen is a bad place to be doing this.
I feel like any place would be a bad place doing this, but it just has to happen.
Yeah.
But
Let's talk more about this maybe before bed. When
yeah.
everybody else is drunk.
Yeah. And we better make sure, because I fear leaving Castor on his own, and Caustic might explode again.
I also fear both of those things, yeah. Based on the fact that they both tried to poison us, but how are you alive, by the way? Anyway, moving on. Let's go. Let's go make
You've
sure
not
they're in
had my
trouble.
mother's cooking.
I don't think I want to.
She could.
Caustic. I thought you guys were. I was going to say, Caustic, you got to make the cage smaller. Your bird's just going to fly out otherwise.
It can't fly right now, so.
Oh, it's going to wiggle out then.
Right, and then it'll do what? Walk up the stairs. It's fine where it is. It's
jump off the boat.
Fine. Jump off. It can't get up the stairs.
We don't know what it can do.
Trust me. First off, this is just right now. Second off, at bedtimes, I will keep it in a place where it can be kept. But no need to worry about it right now. It is perfectly entertained. And then, like, Caustic will look over there. It won't be, like, probably paying full attention to the mechanical bird. Be like, yeah, it's good enough. Listen, believe it or not quite a animal person. I like them. It's not like they don't like me. It's just, never really got a lot of time to be around them, unless it's a horse. I think I'm quite good at handling horses.
I like animals. I've never had one as a pet like you do, but I've always liked them. Oh, it's really cool that you have this one, though. It's a very neat creature.
Yes, I'm always astounded by my look at cards and games, but I'm glad that I won this. I honestly was trying to get one of the... I don't have to spend several hundred gold doing that, unless... Oh, I've cut out there. That's a shame. Am I still here? Am I audible?
You're good. Okay.
I wanted a courier hawk back when we were in Fortosum, but I'm glad that I didn't do that. Don't have to do it into the coffers. Though, suppose I could ask Andy if he has any courier hawks, but I think one giant animal is probably enough for me, at least.
You don't ask Andy for things. You just give him things and see what he gives back. And then you don't like it, you can try to parlay that into something better.
I'll still ask. I don't think there's any harm in that.
I think he has everything, so he showed us some of the things he has. He's...
The only things he would have, I understood what you were telling me, is things that were bet before. So
yes, but he has everything from this old book that I got to a scroll of resurrection. He has little trinkets that you can put into a tree, and it gets the syrup or the juice out of it. And it has that weird hat that Finn is wearing all the time now. I have no idea what it does, and he won't let me touch it to find out.
It's my hat.
I'm going to
touch it. I'm going to touch it on his head. When he comes down, I'm going to touch it. I just have to have my thing out, and I can cast the spell. I'm going to find out what that hat does.
Good luck with that, I suppose.
Can you distract him for me?
Can I distract Finn so that you can touch his hat?
Yes. Show him your bird or something. I don't know.
I can do that. Are we waiting for him to come down here, or do you want to go up?
We should wait for him to come down here. He and Callisto started having a conversation, and I felt it was probably private. So I came downstairs to, also see how you've been. I mean, I haven't really gotten to speak to you since the whole Soot died and Caustic became Caustic.
To be honest,
situation.
I don't know that we've really gotten to speak much at all, but
A couple
Yeah.
times after you died. And
A few times. And most of them have been us yelling at each other, if we're going to be honest. That is a lot of our communication style, and by us, I mean, I think it was me yelling at you, but
I yelled at you yesterday, so yes.
that wasn't in private. Regardless, I'm doing quite well. There's still anger in my heart, I will say, but it is nice to be able to let go, to know that, that is not who I am. I am not defined by my anger. I am not defined by others, but I am defined by myself.
I wish I could understand what you're saying and how it feels. I can't, but if you enjoy it, that's good. I'm happy for you. I'm new to this whole friendship thing.
Is going to stand up because they've been kind of crouched over, looking at the bird, but they're gonna stand up to full height, which is I think 6'0". So I assume a decent bit taller than Castor.
No, Castor's 5'11", so he's just
okay, right. But put a hand on your shoulder and then just make firm eye contact. Castor, if that is something you wish to understand, then you have to make the first steps to understand it. May I ask you a question?
Yes.
Do you know the most important steps a person can take?
Is this a riddle? Are you riddling me?
The most important step someone can take is the next one. Whatever you are doing, do not stand still. Do not be still. Constantly move. Constantly improve and better yourself.
Yes, I know that. I just meant I couldn't understand what you're going through because I don't have that situation. I don't have something in my past that's haunting me so terribly as your father did to you. And the being able to let it go is something I don't understand because I don't have that, but you seem happier. So I'm saying I'm genuinely happy for you.
I appreciate it. I just want you to know that it is okay to change yourself. I'm a living example of that. But
I feel like I've changed. I've made friends. I've started hugging people.
Yes, the greatest example of change.
It's a big deal for me.
Physical affection. I mean, I suppose that's true. I was not a really big hugger. Didn't really... No, we're not talking about that. I mean, I appreciate you, Castor. You are a lot like me, and I think that's why we butt heads so often. We are both firm on principle. We just disagree on those principles.
Sometimes we agree.
Sometimes we agree.
But it's good to not seal yourself in something where everybody believes the same thing. And coming from a man who, came from the church, that's something I learned. I learned that there are different viewpoints out there, and I had to embrace one of those, and it was very difficult for me. But I don't regret it.
And neither do I, to be honest. I do kind of owe you one, to say the least, in that regard. Possibly more. But I am now a lot more worried, if I may dramatically change the subject, about this assassin. I don't know what to do, because we can't be reckless, but being careful just gives him more time to do what he wants to do.
So this was something in the conversation yesterday that we had last night that I think you're missing on meaning of. You don't have to take all this burden on yourself. It's not what you can do. It's what we all can do together. You don't have to burden the weight of that all on yourself.
I understand that.
This assassin
more so every day.
This assassin comes. We have to stay unified, stay together. There's 6 of us, and 1 of him. Even somebody much more powerful those aren't good odds for them. It's not something that they should want to risk.
And he probably won't, but numbers mean nothing when you have range. Numbers mean nothing when you have, surprise. Numbers mean nothing when you have high-grade explosives, all of which he has demonstrated. So I do agree, if he does get close, we have an advantage, but I still don't know how to make that happen.
I mean, there are some of us who can traverse quickly. And I can ignore anything, really. I can fly. I can get to him. Even if he has range, I can get to him. And we have range too. So you don't need to worry about him as much. We need to focus more on the crystal. And when he comes up, we deal with him. We need to focus on going to places in the Grangle Jungle, like with Callisto, what happened with Callisto's family. And we have to go eventually see your father about, the bad stuff he's doing in the jungle, and to help you get your final chapter closed on that book.
And that's... I appreciate that. I do think it honestly can wait until after we get the crystal.
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm not sure how to go about that, because that is a bit personal, but it's no longer personal to me. I just have to... It's now for Lorebrim, but Lorebrim doesn't seem to mind him, but they don't know what he's done. But I'm just, I don't know, a bit lost with that, and you happen to catch me on an odd one. Normally I'd talk to Zereth about this, but he's indisposed, and I just happen to be thinking about it.
Perhaps we all need to branch out and talk to each other more. And it seems we kind of focus in on our people that we talk to about things, and we don't get a diverse enough range of opinions.
Thanks for listening to this episode. Don't forget to subscribe so that you never miss an episode, and comment so we can bring more people to join the story with us. We want to thank Syrinscape as we use their sound systems for our sound effects and music. Check out the description if you want to know exactly which sets we used this episode. Thanks to Kobold Press, we use their monster write-ups to keep our players on their toes and you listeners on the edges of your seats. Join us next episode as we continue our story.